Sometimes, all it takes is a single photograph to set social media buzzing. That is exactly what happened when images appearing to show Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir walking side by side began circulating among fans. Within hours, the photos had spread across multiple online communities, with thousands of people sharing opinions, asking questions, and revisiting memories connected to one of Turkey's most beloved on-screen duos. At first glance, the images seemed simple. There was no dramatic announcement, no official statement, and no confirmed revelation. Yet something about the photographs immediately caught people's attention. Some viewers focused on the expressions captured in the images. Others noticed the body language, while many simply enjoyed seeing the two familiar names mentioned together once again. Very quickly, the conversation expanded far beyond the photographs themselves. Across social media, fans began discussing every visible detail. Some wondered whether the images represented a recent moment, while others believed they were older photographs being shared again. Several people pointed out that pictures often resurface online months or even years after they were originally taken, making it important not to assume every trending image reflects a current event. That careful approach didn't reduce the excitement. If anything, it encouraged more thoughtful conversations. Instead of rushing to conclusions, many fans chose to examine the images with curiosity rather than certainty. They compared different versions of the photos, searched for their original sources, and exchanged opinions about what had drawn so much attention in the first place. One recurring observation appeared again and again. People kept mentioning how natural the pair looked together. For longtime followers, that wasn't surprising. Ever since their memorable television collaboration, audiences have continued associating Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir with effortless chemistry. Years may have passed, but the emotional connection viewers formed with their performances has remained remarkably strong. That lasting impression explains why even ordinary photographs can become major talking points. Whenever both actors appear in the same discussion, fans naturally become curious. Some hope for another collaboration. Others simply enjoy remembering the television moments that first introduced them to the famous duo. As more people joined the online conversation, attention gradually shifted toward the smaller details visible in the images. A few fans discussed clothing choices. Others commented on accessories. Some focused on facial expressions or posture, believing these tiny elements added personality to the photographs. Rather than presenting those observations as facts, most participants described them as personal interpretations. That distinction became an important part of the discussion. Instead of claiming that the images confirmed anything about the actors' personal lives, many viewers emphasized that photographs can inspire different impressions depending on who's looking at them. In other words, the pictures became less about certainty and more about conversation. That is one reason the story spread so quickly. People weren't simply reacting to a headline. They were exchanging perspectives. One fan might notice a smile. Another might notice a gesture. Someone else could interpret the same image in an entirely different way. This variety of opinions kept the discussion alive across multiple platforms. Meanwhile, newer fans who had only recently discovered Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir became curious about why the pair continued attracting so much attention. Longtime supporters were happy to explain. They shared favorite scenes, memorable interviews, and behind-the-scenes stories that highlighted the professional partnership which had made both actors internationally recognized. For many viewers, the photographs served as a reminder of why that partnership remained so memorable in the first place, not because the images proved anything extraordinary, but because they reminded audiences of performances that had left a lasting impression. As the online discussion continued growing, another interesting topic began emerging. Some fans believed that one small detail visible in the photographs had captured everyone's attention more than anything else, and that tiny observation would soon become the center of an even bigger conversation. As more people examined the images, the conversation gradually shifted from the overall scene to the smallest visible details. It was fascinating to watch. Instead of focusing only on whether Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir appeared together, many fans began pointing out tiny elements that might have gone unnoticed at first glance. Some discussed clothing choices. Others mentioned accessories. A few even compared different versions of the same photographs to see whether they had been edited or cropped before being shared online. The result was an unusually thoughtful discussion. Rather than rushing to dramatic conclusions, many viewers approached the images almost like a puzzle, exchanging observations and asking one another what they noticed first. One fan might focus on a smile, another might pay attention to the distance between the two actors. Someone else could notice the surrounding environment, wondering where the photographs had originally been taken. Interestingly, none of these observations led to a single agreed-upon interpretation. That became part of the story itself. The same image inspired dozens of different opinions, reminding everyone how easily photographs can be interpreted in different ways depending on personal perspective. Some longtime followers viewed the pictures through the lens of nostalgia. To them, seeing Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir associated together again immediately brought back memories of their favorite television moments. They remembered scenes that had made them laugh, emotional storylines that kept them watching week after week, and the natural chemistry that had turned the pair into one of Turkish television's most recognizable duos. For newer fans, however, the images created a different kind of curiosity. Many wanted to understand why two actors who had worked together years ago still generated such enormous interest whenever their names appeared in the same headline. The answer wasn't complicated. Great on-screen partnerships often leave a lasting impression. Even after a successful series ends, audiences continue connecting the actors because of the emotions they experienced while watching their performances. Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir are a perfect example of that phenomenon. Their popularity extends far beyond Turkey. Across Italy, Spain, Latin America, and many other parts of the world, viewers continue discovering their work every year. Streaming platforms and international broadcasts have introduced their performances to entirely new audiences, helping maintain a loyal global fan base. That worldwide interest explains why discussions can spread so quickly. A single post shared in one country is often translated, reposted, and discussed in several others within just a few hours. As the photographs continued circulating, some digital creators also offered an important reminder. Modern editing tools have become incredibly sophisticated. Simple adjustments, creative compositions, and carefully selected angles can completely change the way an image is perceived. Because of that, many encourage fans to appreciate the pictures while also waiting for reliable information before assuming they reflected a specific real-life situation. That balanced approach resonated with many viewers. Instead of debating what the images supposedly proved, conversations became centered on appreciation. People talked about memorable performances. They revisited favorite scenes. Some even recommended the series to friends who had never watched it before. In that sense, the photographs accomplished something unexpected. They introduced new audiences to a story that longtime fans had cherished for years. Meanwhile, another subtle detail kept appearing in the comments. Several fans mentioned that what caught their attention wasn't any single object or accessory. It was the relaxed way Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir appeared in the images. To many viewers, that sense of comfort reminded them of the effortless connection they had displayed on screen. Whether the photographs were recent or from an earlier moment, fans felt that familiar energy was what made the pictures resonate so strongly. Of course, everyone interpreted those moments differently. Some saw simple professionalism, others saw warm friendship, many simply appreciated seeing two well-known actors remembered together once again. Whatever the individual opinion, one thing became increasingly clear. The real reason these images attracted so much attention had very little to do with speculation. It had everything to do with the unforgettable impact Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir had already made on audiences around the world. And as the discussion continued growing, fans began asking an even bigger question. Why does every small moment involving these two stars continue creating such a powerful reaction years later? The more the conversation evolved, the more it became clear that the photographs were only the beginning of a much larger story. People weren't simply reacting to what they saw, they were responding to what the images reminded them of. Across fan communities, thousands of comments shared a similar theme. Viewers spoke about the excitement they felt when Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir first appeared together on screen. Many admitted they could still remember specific scenes, memorable lines, and emotional moments that had stayed with them long after the series had ended. That kind of lasting impact is rare. In an industry where new productions are released every season, only a handful of on-screen partnerships continue attracting attention years later. Yet every time Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir are mentioned together, the response is almost immediate. Some fans described the duo as timeless. Others called them unforgettable. Many simply said they hoped to see them share the screen again one day. As these discussions spread, entertainment pages began highlighting the growing online interest. Rather than making assumptions about the photographs themselves, many focused on the public reaction surrounding them. The story had shifted. Instead of asking whether the images revealed something new, people started asking why they continued generating so much excitement. The answer seemed surprisingly simple. Audiences still enjoy talking about them. Their performances introduced millions of viewers to characters that felt genuine and relatable. The emotional investment people made in those stories didn't disappear when the final episode aired. If anything, it continued growing through rewatches, streaming platforms, and fan communities that remained active long after the original broadcast. That sense of nostalgia became one of the strongest themes throughout the conversation. Many fans shared stories about when they first watched the series. Some remembered following every new episode with family members. Others recalled recommending it to friends who had never seen a Turkish drama before. For international viewers, the show often became their introduction to Turkish television, opening the door to many other productions they would later enjoy. It wasn't just about two actors. It was about the memories attached to them. Meanwhile, another interesting pattern emerged. Content creators began producing videos, photo edits, and tribute posts inspired by the renewed attention. Some recreated iconic scenes using modern editing techniques, while others collected fan-favorite moments into short compilations that quickly gained thousands of views. The renewed interest became a celebration of creativity. Rather than presenting speculation as fact, many creators chose to focus on appreciation, highlighting memorable performances, iconic scenes, and the cultural impact the duo had made across international audiences. That positive approach was welcomed by fans. Instead of debating rumors, people found themselves discussing favorite episodes, unforgettable dialogue, and the qualities that had made Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir such a successful on-screen partnership. Some admired their natural sense of humor. Others praised their emotional performances. Many believed it was the balance between those qualities that made their chemistry feel so authentic. As more comments appeared, one message kept repeating itself. People weren't necessarily looking for dramatic news. They simply enjoyed seeing both names together again. That emotional connection explained why even a few widely shared photographs could inspire conversations involving viewers from dozens of different countries. Years may have passed. Careers may have evolved, and new projects may have come and gone. But the audience's affection for the famous duo remained remarkably consistent. And as the online discussion entered another phase, fans began wondering whether all this renewed attention might eventually lead to something everyone had been hoping for. A future reunion, another collaboration, or perhaps an entirely new project featuring both stars once again. Whether that possibility exists remains unknown, but the growing excitement itself revealed just how powerful their legacy continues to be. As the online conversation gradually settled, one thing became impossible to ignore. The photographs may have sparked the discussion, but they were never the true reason millions of people became interested. The real story was the enduring connection that audiences continue to feel. Whenever Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir are mentioned together, that connection has survived changing trends, new television productions, and the passage of time. While many popular on-screen partnerships slowly fade from public attention, this one continues to generate conversations across social media, entertainment websites, and fan communities around the world. Every new post seems to remind viewers why they became invested in the duo in the first place. Some remember unforgettable romantic scenes. Others think about the humor that made their performances feel so natural. Many simply appreciate the professionalism and energy both actors brought to the screen, creating characters that audiences still enjoy revisiting today. The recent photographs became another example of how quickly that enthusiasm can return. Without an official announcement or major event, a few widely shared images encourage thousands of people to revisit old memories, recommend the series to new viewers, and exchange opinions with fellow fans from different countries. In many ways, that reaction speaks louder than any headline. It shows that audiences remain emotionally connected to performances that genuinely entertain them. Another interesting lesson also emerged from the discussion. In today's digital world, images travel faster than ever before. Creative edits, fan artwork, and rediscovered photographs can easily become viral within hours. That is why many fans emphasize the importance of enjoying the conversation while also relying on verified information whenever questions arise about real-life events. It was a thoughtful reminder, admiring creativity and appreciating fan-made content can go hand in hand with approaching online stories responsibly. Fortunately, that balanced attitude was reflected throughout much of the conversation. People celebrated memorable performances. They shared favorite scenes. They introduced newer viewers to a series that had become a milestone for many international fans of Turkish television. Most importantly, they focused on what had originally brought everyone together, the unforgettable chemistry that Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir created through their work. Whether future collaborations happen is something only time will reveal. There has been no official confirmation regarding a new shared project, but the enthusiasm surrounding every conversation involving the two actors clearly demonstrates that public interest remains remarkably strong. Sometimes, lasting popularity isn't created by constant headlines. Sometimes, it comes from performances that continue leaving a positive impression long after the cameras stop rolling. That is exactly what many fans believe happened with Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir. The latest photographs reminded audiences of that legacy, encouraged meaningful conversations, and once again highlighted the global admiration both actors continue receiving, and perhaps that is the most remarkable part of the story. Not that people were searching for dramatic revelations, but that a simple collection of images was enough to bring together fans from around the world, united by shared memories, appreciation, and the hope that one day they might see one of television's most beloved duos together again. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest updates from the world of Turkish entertainment. We'd also love to hear your thoughts. Which Can Yaman and Demet Özdemir moment is your favorite? And would you like to see them reunite in a future project? Share your opinion in the comments below.